TGIF, and welcome to Concert Connections. You know my name. You should know it by now. I'm Kelly. This is Terri Lachance.
Hey.
Woohoo! Terry's
So
in the
excited.
house. So excited.
So excited.
Thank you for joining us here on Concert
Thank you so much
Connections.
for having me. It's so excellent.
Yes.
This is so fun.
Well, they probably don't know. Concert Connections started in 2002. We did quite a long run. Then we took a little hiatus, and here we are. We're back, and you are our first musician
look at that.
back.
So excited to be here. And as you can see, my fun meter's like way up to the top, as it usually is. So, yay.
And that's all we want to do is have fun. So grab a cocktail, grab a coffee, mocktail, whatever your favorite drink is. Get your blanket, get cozy, and get ready for an hour of Terri Lachance. Take it away, my friend.
Thank you so much. All right. So obviously it's all original music. I am jumping into the future without an end. No one's hand to hold. It's me alone, me alone. I can do it, I am strong. It's right, it's what I need in my life. What I was will be gone. What I will be is unknown. I'm flying through the air without a safety net. Just me to depend on. My body and my mind. I can do it, I am strong. It's right, it's what I need in my life. I am jumping into the future without a net. No one's hand to hold. It's me alone, me alone. I can do it, I'm strong. It's right, it's what I need in my life. I can do it, I am strong. It is right, it's what I need in my life. So that song is called Free Fall, and it came out of me selling my house, getting ready to transition from my full-time job of 40 years, and deciding to move to the shoreline. And I felt like I was kind of all alone there and trying to jump into the future. And I do realize, of course, now that I've done it, everything's fine, you know, and it was fine. So I'm happy that I did it, and you know, the song came out of it, out of my angst. But I knew everything would be all right. And when I sing it, I just feel like I can take on anything. So, second song I'm going to play is for my dad. Even though we're inside today, I have played a million farmers markets and this summer. And so what I've been doing is thanking my dad left and right for being in charge of the weather. He's no longer with us, but he was an engineer, and he was a meticulous man. And so I figured when he passed away, the thing that he would be in charge of is the weather. And so I have friends that look out for him. You know, people will say, like, can you ask your dad? We have this big concert tomorrow, or I have to play outside tomorrow, or there's something really big happening tomorrow. Put in a word with your dad. And so I try. But mostly I think he's looking out for me. Maybe he'll look out for the people in Florida as well, hopefully. We do have some family there as well. But this is about my dad, Warren Coe. He was always a tinkerer, bad jokes about a thermos, knows if beverages are hot or cold. Needed receipts to do taxes, asked if finances were stable. Always logic-minded, but never cold. Talked to Alex in the end, who guided him to heaven, where he is now in charge of the weather. Job that suits him well, 'cause he could fix most anything, but he couldn't figure out how to live forever. Postponed graduation of my daughter for 2 weeks. Snow and ice, help with change is coming. He was honest in the background, thinking working was showing love. Said goodnight on the phone, the next day he was gone. Talked to Alex in the end, who guided him to heaven. He is now in charge of the weather. Job that suits him well, 'cause he could fix most anything, but he couldn't figure out how to live forever. He was always a tinkerer, bad jokes about a thermos, knows if beverages are hot or cold. Needed receipts to do taxes, asked if finances were stable. Always logic-minded, never cold. Talked to Alex in the end, guided him to heaven. He is now in charge of the weather. Job that suits him well, 'cause he could fix most anything, but he couldn't figure out how to live forever. No, he couldn't figure out how to live forever. So, my dad's favorite joke was, "What is the greatest invention ever made?" And we would say, like, what? And he would say, "The thermos." And we'd be like, "The thermos? How come?" And he would say, "Because how does it know whether to keep things hot or cold?" We would just sit there and go, "Oh, it's such a bad joke." But anyway, so he used to say that probably all the time, like so much. And we would think, Dad, like just get a different joke. But anyway, so I'm going to sing a song. First of all, those of you that know me know that I love birds. I have a lot of songs about birds. I have birds that I was reincarnated from a bird. Birds guide me in my vacations sometimes. And I wrote this song when I was in Vermont, and I was walking around in the woods, and I was singing like this actual song that I just made up. And I had a camera in my hands, and I was looking around and trying to get the birds to stay on the branches just a little bit longer. And as I was singing, I felt like they were curious and kind of stood there for a little longer, and I, took my picture and thanked them. So then I went back to the room that I was in and tried to figure out what chords I was singing and came up with this. So if you do listen to the song Bird Walk on like the actual CD, you're going to hear me tromping in the woods and like a little intro of exactly what I said into the recorder, and then went back and did the song in the studio. Don't be afraid, I once was you. Skipping branches, mud-filled ruins. Long ago and far away, I see the life you live. I pine for its afraid I once was you. Sleeping branches, mud-filled rooms, long ago and far away. I see the life you live. I pine for it some days. I am you from long ago. I see you in the trees. Don't be afraid, my loves. I am here. So that song actually has two musicians, some fantastic musicians as part of it as well. Leanne Lovelace actually sang the second time around with me, and she did a phenomenal job. And if you don't know who she is, go look her up, because she is a monster player and just a phenomenal person with a heart as big as gold, and has reached out to me and done so much for me as a musician, and she's done it as a human. She's just such a human person. And my friend Lynn Tracy did a beautiful solo in the middle of that, and she is an amazing guitar player. So the CDs are much clearer and more beautiful versions of these songs, and I'm very, very blessed and lucky to be surrounded by so many amazing musicians. So I will say also, I have just gone back into the studio. I have an 8th CD coming out with Steve Rogers' studio, and Steve Rogers playing on it, from the Tiny Bunker Studio in Hamden. And he will, that will be out at the end of October. And I am now back in the studio with Riverway Studio and Ira Sikowski and a band. And we are just starting to record. We went last Monday and this past Monday into the studio to do 16 songs. And I have probably 15 more that are nowhere, in no CD, and I'm still working on how to get them somewhere. But this song is one that we just recorded, and I know that Deanna and I hold this dear to our hearts, because she knows as well as I do that sugar is my drug of choice. And so I wrote this song to kind of explain that whole phenomena about it. But anyway, so this is really going to be done with a band, as many of my songs are. And all by my lonesome, I wrote the songs, I sing the songs, I play guitar on them. But when you hear them with a full band, it is just incredible. So I'm very, very thankful to be surrounded by so many incredible people willing to go with me on my journey. So, so I will say, I have to say, so that will be like Rob DeSorbo on bass, it will be Christopher Abbott on lead guitar, and Brian Caudle on drums. And they are like my little core that go into the studio with me, and they are amazing, just amazing. So this is called Sugar is My Drug of Choice. I don't drink and I don't drug. Stoic when it comes to pain. I jog, play music, keep my mental health at bay. Perfect I am not, because sugar is my drug of choice. Here's the true story part. Gave it up for 2 years straight. Found I had less joy in life without the speedy highs, sugar gives. College, all the students drank. They'd give me pixie sticks and watch as I got giddy, keeping up with them. I am not proud, but what I feel is you do not have these quirky faults. You become less human. Sugar is my drug of choice. It's just as evil, but accepted better. There are no 12 steps to overcome. Food companies' attitude. Everything that they make should resist. Stand to take. Write the companies a letter. Making a mistake. See how conflicted I am about sugar. But yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of things in there, and they're all true. So yeah, I have a song. I'm really just in the beginning stages of recording, you know, this CD. We did a couple of songs. I want to see if I can find this one because I think I can do it. I think I can do it from memory. I know I should do it from memory, so let's see if I can. Because it's what I believe about life, and it's very new, so I may mess this up. Once again, much better with a band. Let's see. Nope, can't do it. I'm not sure. Be free. Oh, I need it. I need the words so bad. Let me see if I can do it.
I wish I could help you.
No, you can't help me. Nobody can help me. Oh, I wanted to do it. And I usually can do it from memory. And that's why I feel like it bothers me so much.
Excellent.
All right. Nope. I'm going to do it anyway. Thank you for just putting up with me today. Okay. It's like I needed the first words, and that's usually the case. If most people that memorize their words, if they get the first couple of words out, usually the rest of the song will just go, and that's where I got stuck today. So all of you on your journey, I am not a machine, so you just know that now. Be bold, be free, don't be afraid to see the endless possibilities. Gonna drive my life till the wheels fall off. Not a snake dried to the high road, afraid to leave the safety of the warmth. Try flying, try falling, don't be afraid of dying. Take steps to the gifts that living gives. Gonna drive my life till the wheels fall off. afraid to leave the safety of the warmth. Be a dreamer, be a learner, walking blindly into the future. Failure is just a way of giving up. Gonna drive my life till the wheels fall off. Not a snake drive to the high road, afraid to leave the safety of the warmth. Be a dreamer, be a learner, walking blindly into the future. Failure is just a way of giving up. Failure is just a way of giving up. Failure is just a way of giving up. Thank you.
We're going to drive it to the wheels fall off.
That's how I feel like I should be doing my life, so I wrote a song about it. But as you can see, didn't come off without a hitch this time. All right.
All right. We have Terri Lachance in the house on
Thank you.
Concert Connections. Woo!
Thank you. Thank you.
We just love you. You know that.
Thank you.
You have your
I feel love.
Yes, well,
Look how comfortable I was. I did a song that I shouldn't have done, but it's okay.
Well, you know, Terri, that's a perfect example that we need to teach people that it's okay not to know the words and just go out there and just do it.
Yep.
Fake it till you make it.
Yep.
Just do it. Follow your dreams, no matter what they are.
Yep.
Even if you fall down, it don't matter. You pick yourself up and you just do it again.
And it is true.
And
Failure
again.
is just a way of giving up. I believe the words I say. I'm just saying that.
I know you do. That's why we love you.
Thank you. Yeah, and people like, I know that a lot of people get really, really stressed, and I have my own little, some things, but I really don't. Like, a lot of times people are like, I think, we're going to go out there, we're just going to have fun,
Yeah,
and that's what we should do.
And
it's, and you do make mistakes, and we are human, and if we were machines, it would be like, I don't know, it wouldn't be fun.
same.
It just wouldn't be fun. So I'm okay with it. It's fine.
I am too. Because I make mistakes and it's okay.
Yes, it is.
That's how we learn.
Exactly.
How long have you been doing this, Terri? Like, I mean, have you always played guitar your whole life?
So I played guitar. I learned how to play guitar when I was like 12.
Mm-hmm.
I took lessons from a woman named Evelyn Tobias. She taught me how to play chords and songs and strumming patterns, but nothing about like anything else. So I learned a couple of chords, a couple of things, and then I actually became a songwriter almost right away. I knew like 5 chords. I used them,
Right.
And she had us perform, in front of people. We did a lot. But it was almost all about like the song. You learn the song, and that was pretty much it. So I did that, and then I've probably been playing ever since, really. And I decided, like before my children were born, I would go to open mics a lot and do things like that. And a couple of people asked me to open for bands and things like that locally. And my claim to fame is I opened for Dar Williams before she was famous. I know, because I was in a bar and they said, we have somebody coming in on Saturday and we wondered if you'd like play a few of your original songs before they start. I know. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then they said, it's Dar Williams. And I'm like, I don't know who she is. Because I didn't, I was like 22. And they said, oh, yeah. And then this guy was in the bar. He goes, oh, you never heard of her? She's going to be big. And I said, oh, So that was kind of cool. But, I opened for like little local bands and stuff. And then I had children and I wrote songs, but I didn't perform very much anymore. I was like really, really, really into, just being with my kids, not putting myself first at all, like making sure that everything was really on their agenda and things they wanted to do, and all of that. And but I wrote songs, and then when they left, like my daughter left for college, and my son left, I thought, oh, what am I going to do? And I went right back to music. And I went to open mics again, and then started playing out. I met Rob, DeSorbo, and he and I became a duo, and we did perform a lot together for quite a few years.
So that I never knew how you exactly started. I just
pretty much open mics and things. Every once in a while, like someone would say, "Can you play a pizza party?" or something like that. Or I always used music in my classroom. Like I always played with kids as well, so I always had a guitar, and I would always use that. We'd do songs, and if I wanted the kids to gather, I'd do a song, and
that always works.
Yes, it does. Yes, and and the parents would always tell me, for the holidays, my child wants a guitar, and they said, do you know anybody can teach? And so I would refer them to somebody, because I really couldn't teach somebody how to play the guitar, but I went through a lot of years of teaching, and I'm sure there's a lot of guitars out there from the fact that they get inspired by the people that they meet, and so the singing and playing kind of just fostered that in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Seeing a child grow with music and to learn, and have you ever seen your children, that you've had through the years, blossom into musicians?
I mean, I know some of them definitely went into theater and stuff like that.
Still.
And because what I tend to think of is that I'm not a mainstream teacher, even though I was a public school teacher. So I ended up with the kids who were very, very creative, and also, I call it the island of misfit toys. The kids that are very quirky, but very, very bright, have a lot of interest in lots of different things, and they also jive with me as well, because I feel like I'm kind of like one with that tribe as well. And so teachers would say, like, how do you handle that kid? Like, they would drive me nuts, and I'd be like, nope, like I love that kid, because they are just trying to get someone to accept who they are, and that's fine. It's easy to do, because it's easy to do.
I have to agree, because I have the same experiences, and that's probably why you and I are here, standing up here today.
There you go. Yeah, so it's important to me, but I have always played, and I believe that music kind of saves you in some ways. It's the way I process the world. I have something going on in my head. I'm like, oh, song's coming. I know it's coming. And I feel like that's it's a gift in some ways to be able to process things through, like figuring out a song or putting it somewhere. And I'm once again going to give a plug here to a friend of mine named Vincent Rodriguez, who actually does give guitars to kids. He has a nonprofit. It's called Smiles I Can't See. He did it during COVID, so that the kids had masks. But he literally will give a guitar to anyone in need, a child in need. And he will get that guitar to them.
That's good information.
It's such good information. And he lives out now, like in Brook, like way out there in near Danbury in that area. But what he's done with me is I've done a couple of fundraisers for him. We got to know each other literally on Facebook, and he covered a couple of my songs, and we got to know each other. And then we actually met in person, and I did a fundraiser with him. But he is a working musician right now, full time, and he also has that nonprofit that's still in existence. And I ran into somebody at a bar, that I was playing at, and she said, "Oh, my child's really interested in music," and he is literally sending me a guitar to give to that person. And I do that all the time.
Again?
His name is Vincent Rodriguez, and he is under the nonprofit called Smiles I Can't See.
Smiles I Can't See.
All one word, like a hashtag Smiles I Can't See.
So if you have a talented child out there and you need a guitar,
right? And and most of the time, sometimes the guitars are donated by other musicians, and we get him new strings and stuff like that. And sometimes it is literally a brand new guitar. He'll get a half-size guitar for a smaller child. He'll get a full-size guitar for the right kids. And I deliver some of them if it's more closer to this area, whereas he delivers more to his area. And I feel like I'm one of his little like elves, that goes out.
That's so beautiful.
Yes, and but it is from him. Like, it has nothing to do with me personally. the fact
Well,
that
you're kind of like Santa Claus. You're doing the delivery.
Yes, and it's beautiful to do because I always talk to the kids about how music is something that you can use all the time. Like if you're sad, or if you don't want to be part of something. Like I always tell people the stories of going into parties, and if you did not want to partake, you could play music, and people didn't really question whether you were drinking or drunk. You didn't have to. If you didn't want to be part of it, you didn't have to be part of it because you had something in your hand that you could be a participant for that event without having to, do things maybe you didn't want to do or whatever.
And that's an important lesson to learn, that, you can go to an establishment and you do not have to, especially now, alcoholic beverages are not a criteria for music. You can just go listen, you can just go play, you can just have a good time without the alcohol.
And of course, and I mean, I don't drink, and my song was, I don't drink and I don't drug, I just eat a lot of sugar. But the fact is, like, I have some favorite places that will make me the most beautiful mocktail, and they're like, do you like this one? And I'm like, yes. Perfect,
I've seen some of them.
And they're gorgeous, they're gorgeous, and you would not know that there's no alcohol in them, and they really have a lot of love in them, so it's,
Coming up to that, where can we see you play?
Okay, so I have a website, which is terrilachance.com. So it's TerriLachance.com, and that really lists all my gigs. You can find me on Facebook. I tend to put a lot of things on there as well because kind of daily, like, oh, here's where I'm going to be if you want to be here too, and sometimes people do show up. Carrie Collins has shown up to farmers market. She's like, oh, I saw that you were going to be at Guilford Farmers,
Augustino showed up at Holyoke.
That is amazing, but that was due to you, but thank you, and all of a sudden I'm like, huh? He goes, Terri, I was sent here. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, so that was lovely.
Terri, but he wanted to, too.
No, but it was lovely. Yes. It was lovely.
Like, make her day. Go see
Terri. Oh my God, it was so amazing.
Terri,
it was in the middle of Holyoke, Yes, which was amazing. So so there's lots of things, and I do like to keep a busy schedule.
She sure does.
I love to keep a busy schedule, actually, because I feel like life is short, and you got to do all the things you want to do, and I still feel like I'll like you can look at this. It's crazy. It's my calendar. It's only October.
Oh wow!
It's just crazy. And what I'll do is I'll block things off.
She is a busy lady.
Yeah, I'm busy, but I mean, like I have. Like I'm going to see my friend Lindsay on the 23rd. Like I have to literally, if people say like, oh, can I see you? Can we have dinner? Can we like go for a coffee or whatever? I'm like, I have to put it on my calendar.
That's right.
And I can't do it like it might not be this week. It could be like 2 weeks from now, but I will get together with you. I just have to know when it is, and it's the same thing with gigs. Somebody might say to me, oh, I'd love to have you. What about November? I'm like, November's pretty packed already. Like, let's try January, And if you have a date for me, like in January, then yeah, I'll be there, But, and I've been lucky because a lot of the summer's been, and now the fall, farmers markets, which is lovely. I love farmers markets for all the right reasons.
Yes.
I love the fact that all the people at it are selling their wares, things that they've made, things they think they can make a living with. Maybe they can, maybe they can't, but it's definitely products made of love. And then all the produce is fresh, delicious. A lot of times, I'll go and, wander around before I start playing, and I'll be like, oh my goodness, like what do you have here, And people will talk about their, what they're selling. But some of the produce is things I've never seen before, and I'm pretty world traveled. And there were things I'm like, I've never seen something like that. I went to Providence, Rhode Island, and I saw little tiny, they almost look like watermelons. Tiny, like almost, but the shape of a watermelon, right?
Tiny watermelon.
Tiny,
like
tiny, right? They were cucumbers, like a certain kind of cucumber. And he's like, take one, And so I took one and tried, and I'm like, oh, like it's so.
Was it sweet?
It was tasted like a cucumber, but it was a firmer because it was so small, I mean, it was literally this size, just tiny. But fun,
Right.
And it depends on who's at the market, what they're selling, which is lovely.
So that brings me to the question: where has your music taken you as far as travels? Where have you been thus far?
So what I do is because I was a classroom elementary school teacher, I had summers off. And so I would just pick countries to go to. And I was a Peace Corps volunteer, like out of college. So I had already had the taste of travel. I was in Tunisia for 3 years. And then I came back sort of reluctantly to the United States and thought, like, now what do I do? And then I got a teaching job and, and worked like my days. And I loved teaching. But the fact was, it was great to have that break of time to do other things. So I picked places like Thailand and India and, Costa Rica. And just most recently, I went to Australia recently, Peru recently, Vietnam, and I'm trying to think of where else, and Australia. And so those places, I brought a guitar. Like I had my guitar with me, a guitar, not this guitar, but a guitar with me. And I would write songs while I was in the country because you see things and you try things and you wake up in the morning and it just inspires you to write things. And I just feel like that's a great, great way to kind of process, what the experience that you're having. And so a lot of those songs are on they're interconnected into the CDs as well. But yeah, so a lot of the ones that are coming up are Vietnam songs. So, because I just went.
Forward to that.
Yeah, Vietnam was a lovely country.
I saw.
Absolutely
I watched
gorgeous.
all your live feeds. They were just such. Thank you for sharing that
Yeah,
because
thank
it
you.
kind of makes me. I'm there too.
Yep.
I get a little taste.
Yeah,
So
and the thing
I
is,
enjoy
and
it very
people can
much.
do that. Like it occurs to me that people can do these things. I mean, sometimes people will say to you like, "Oh, you're going to go to a country and you don't speak the language," and and I'm like, "Look, you just go," and they're like, "Do you know where you're sleeping?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know where I'm sleeping. Like the first night, I'll find like an Airbnb or something, and then as I go, I just keep figuring it out, and." I'm not saying I'd sleep in a bush, but if I had to, I would. And if I have to sleep in a train station, you could do that. I mean, there's not really too much that gets in your way of being able to figure out what the next step's going to be. And that actually does feed me in a lot of ways, that idea of the puzzle, like, oh, I'm showing up in a country, I know nothing, I don't know what they eat, I don't know what they do, and now I just kind of meander around and like, what's the best way to go, and I did, like in Vietnam, I took a train for part of it and a bus for part of it, and then people told me, other tourists, they're like, do you know that you can go from north to south in the country for like $80 on a plane, and it takes an hour, and I'm like, oh, So
well, you got to see more of the country.
Right. No. But what I'm saying is, I took a plane because I realized, oh, I only have 2 weeks, and now I've seen some of it here and here, by bus and train. But now I can go all the way down south and see the rest of the country, pretty much by just taking, a little plane ride. And the same thing with Greece. Like I went to Greece and did the same thing. Lovely, right? But you can hop on planes very easily. And sometimes, the ferry is nice and the train is nice or a bus is nice. But you can literally get from, island to island on, for like very quickly. And for, it was probably $100. But you know what I'm saying? It was, or $80 or something. But it was not that much. And what I realized is I could, meander around in Greece, and then at the very end be on some island and take that flight to the airport like the day, before I needed to leave, instead of trying to figure out and like do all the, the backtracking. And I'm like, oh, I'll just take a plane from the last day and end up, right back at the airport, and that made so much sense. So, but I hate to say I don't research these things ahead of time. I kind of learn as I'm going.
Oddly, I'm the same way. I don't do a lot of research. I know where I'm going. I do know where I'm staying generally, but as far as where I'm going,
it's
all on
lovely.
the fly.
And people will tell you things like, oh, I did this cooking class, and I went to this part of the country and I did this, and I'm like, oh, that sounds like fun. And then how did you get there? And then people will tell you, and you just go there.
Well, I've always had a tendency to mix with the locals. So whether they spoke English or not, I somehow always melded with people. I don't know if it's the personality or what, but they see a smile and they feel good, they're going to talk to you.
I think that's true. And I think most times, like, the world is not a scary place.
No.
Not really. And people see that you are confused. Maybe they take a little advantage of you. I don't know. Maybe a little. But sometimes you're so blissfully unaware you don't even know that you've been taken advantage of. If you've been charged too much for something or, something. But the fact is that most times, like, people have walked me places. They're
I've
like,
had that happen too.
Yeah, I mean, in Thailand, people got on the bus with me, and they literally
got me off on the stop that I wanted to get. They told, like, they were, you know, pointing to, I had a map in my hands, and they literally told me, like, now, you know, this is where you want to be. And, you know, completely in Thai, you know, no English. And I'm like, I don't even know where they were trying to go before they got on the bus, but they felt obliged to get on with me, you know, to help me. And that has always lived in my memory, that whole idea of how much people are willing to help a traveler.
I had that happen in Iceland. Somebody walked me to where I needed to catch a bus, and they missed their bus for showing me the directions.
And I'm saying, like, traveling it just gives you so much feeling about humankind, you know.
It does.
It reaffirms your faith in it, you know, in humankind.
I made a lot of friends that I'm still friends with.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So it's wonderful.
Yes, and I had wonderful experiences with people that have helped me along the way and just gone out of their way. And music also is a big, you know, like an icebreaker.
It brings us together.
Oh my goodness, you know, because all I had to do was bring out a guitar, and all the musicians of the country would come to you and say, like, oh, are you going to play something? Or,
That's
you know, or they
beautiful.
would say, I play guitar, and I'd be like, oh, play something for me.
Well, I
Or-
saw, like I
Yeah.
said, I would watch your feeds, and
So there you go.
you're really into
Yeah.
it. So where can we catch you, like, in the month or two? Where can
Okay.
we catch you?
All right. So what I do is, I mean, I definitely have. I'm still doing farmers markets, so I'll be in Guilford and Niantic, and you can go to my website, and that is a really, really good place to see where I physically have gigs. But I am very, very, very often at the downtown coffee shop on Saturday mornings, because there is a musician there from 11 to 1.
And where
It's
is
in
that located?
33 West Main Street in Meriden.
Very good.
And what happens is there's a musician there every single Saturday. So because I call it booking the musician, but it's really for, you know, a meal and tips. But the people are very nice. So there is a musician there. Sometimes it is me actually playing, but more times than not, it's not.
So it's literally singing for your supper.
Exactly. So exactly. So I'm there to help the musician, to, you know, help them set up, you know, live stream them, promote them. And then I usually on Saturday run to Shayna B's by the Sea in Westbrook. And there's a musician there from 2 to 4, which I have also put in that place, so that they, you know, then I'll have a chance to see. Like, so I see 2 musicians definitely a week on Saturdays. I run from Meriden to Westbrook, like, you know, back and forth, which has been lovely. And, you know, I have a very, very, very long list of musicians, like, so much. And so a friend and a person that is in Meriden, besides the coffee shop, said, can you find me musicians for my restaurant? I went, okay. So I started doing that. And that is Moose Burgers in Meriden. There's a longer story to that, but it's now at Moose Burgers. And so they have music on Saturdays and Sundays from, now it's 5 to 7 because it's getting a little bit darker.
Yeah.
Because most of them are out on a patio deck, which is beautiful. But that's 5 to 7. And there's musicians on every single Saturday and Sunday from 5 to 7.
That's good to know.
Yes, and so but what happens is if I'm free, I go. And so I end up, you know, of course that's why, like, I need my workout partner, because I eat a breakfast at downtown coffee shop, and then I go to Shayna B's and I buy something there, and then I, go to Moose Burgers, and then I buy something
She's the
there.
Energizer buddy.
But I'm eating more food than I need to. I'm taking meals to go. My refrigerator's full of food from different places. Because I feel like, because I don't drink, that's part of it. I feel like I should support the business in some way, and so I end up, with all these meals everywhere, and I'm trying to figure out, can I eat something without bread? Like, can I a little bit more.
Hard.
Yes, but anyway, so I'm doing the best I can with what I've got. But yeah, so I do put musicians in those places. I run a bunch of open mics where people can actually participate with things.
Are any run in the Norwich or New London area?
Nightingale's is closest one, is an Old Lime,
Okay.
and that will be this Friday.
Now, don't you do New London Barrel House or something?
No, the Barrel House is in actually Killingworth.
Oh, Killingworth.
So which
Why
is
did I
close
think
to
it
where
was in
I
New
am,
London?
and that's just a place I play. I don't run that open mic. Actually, the Sweet Polly Duo runs that open mic. I think the 4th Sunday of every month. But and sometimes I attend it. But no, I don't run it. I run Nightingales the 2nd Friday of every month. I run Shayna B's by the Sea the first Sunday of the month from 1 to 4. And then I also run the Buttonwood the first and the third Monday from 7 to 10 at night in Middletown.
Wow.
So,
and you have all those spots taken, or you look for musicians to
well,
come
what we
and
do is
join
we
you?
show up, and musicians
So
know
whoever
that-
wants to
Yes.
be involved, just show up.
Yep, and I mean, I post like, oh, today's the open mic at, the Buttonwood, come down. And we had like almost 20 people show up yesterday, or Monday, or whatever it was, Monday.
On a Monday.
On a Monday from 7 to 10. And there were lots of people I'd never seen before, and there were some people that we have, but I was like, where did all these people come from? Which was lovely. And the open mic anyway in Middletown is anything goes, which means you don't have to be a musician. You could be like a poet or a storyteller or a comic or something else.
Your
and
talent.
yeah, any kind of talent. And I always just say anything goes except keep your clothes on.
There you go. Yeah, we don't need that.
No. But very, very, very talented people, and a lot of people. Some of the people are very practiced, and they're trying out new material, or we're just supporting each other. And some people are, I've never been anywhere, but it's an amazing listening room. It's quiet. It's not a bar. There's no alcohol there. So it's just a really, really nice place to try out something. Like song you wrote the other day. I want to try it in front of an audience. And there was a big audience on Monday. Some of the people, one young man said it's the first time he's ever played in front of people, and he played in front of a pretty big group.
And he enjoyed it, I'm sure.
And I mean, I think he was scared, but he did a great, great job, and he was very talented. So.
Okay, well, we got about 10 minutes, and we want to hear a few more songs.
Yay!
And we'll save the best for last.
Okay.
But they're all great.
Thank you.
Take it away, Terri.
All right. Oh, you guys are perfect. All right.
Do you need water, Terri?
No, and I'm good. I really am good. I just want to think about what I want to do here. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do my song about the downtown coffee shop. Yeah. Because the downtown coffee shop is a great place. And so what ended up happening was I didn't know much about about coffee shops. I mean, I go to them, but I go to this one. I've been there. I guess people have been telling me for 3 years I have been putting musicians in the downtown coffee shop. I didn't start the program. A man named David Cooley and Frank Critelli and Denise Jones all were people that were instrumental in getting musicians into this coffee shop when it first opened. And then David Cooley came to me and he said, I was playing it like once a month, and he said, Terri, he goes, I don't have time to be here. He goes, I play golf and I do other things. He goes, could you take over the musicians for this place? And I said, okay. So I posted on Facebook, hey, I'm booking for the downtown coffee shop. Would anybody like to play? It's between 11 and 1 and on a Saturday, and all these people just, yes, I'll play. And it's turned into a very, very, very popular place where people like literally, the atmosphere of this place is amazing. And I will say, I don't think I did all of it at all. What ended up happening was the musicians play. I do tell who's going to be there. There's a certain group of people that want to know, like, who's playing, right? And so I made, I copied the list and I posted it. But most people come because they know a musician is there and they don't care anymore who it is. They just know it will be somebody. And so they all come, and these people, there's booths and tables and some, bar stools, at the counter. And people will just welcome each other. Like, come sit with us, or, there's no room at that table. Come on over here. And people will literally just help each other to sit with whoever, and they're all getting to know each other, and they're all learning about each other, and they, even outside of the coffee shop, they're getting to know each other and do other activities together. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's amazing. And they have it's a downtown coffee shop, so which means that it has a population of homelessness. It has some mental health, people with some mental health challenges, and they do come into the coffee shop.
And sometimes they sit with, they sit with people, we've had homeless people in there, people will buy them a meal, hang out. It's been like super, super amazing. And I'm so amazed. And, people will laugh at me. They're like, you go to a coffee shop every single Saturday. You're like, are you playing? And I'm like, no, I'm promoting the place. And, and I have friends now that play, but I miss it when I'm not there. Like, I will literally schedule my vacations, like, how many weekends am I missing to, like, go? And I booked something in May for Australia, and I made it so that I wouldn't leave too many weekends, So here's the Downtown Coffee Shop, which is literally at 33 West Main Street. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. Looked at the moon, it looked at me tough. All of this thought over in a coffee shop. People over breakfast each week, catching up on business, world affairs, working on your dreams, stair by stair, trying to keep focused in a fleeting world of talk, not action each week. And can I get a witness? Our time is short. Can I get a witness? We are groping in the dark. Can I get a witness? Make each day count. Can I get a witness? Bury your doubts. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. Looked at the moon, looked at me tough. All of this thought over in a coffee shop. People over breakfast each week. People over breakfast each week. People over breakfast each week. So I will also say that during that song, I had a chorus of like 9 people come into the studio. And I took this idea from Brian Winooski, who brought people into the studio, and he had us all do a chorus with him in one of his songs. And then he linked our music to the song every time he posted that song. And I thought, what a great idea. So I literally stole it from him, and I did a chorus of great musicians, friends and, people I care a lot about, and they all came to the studio, and so I can link their music. Like I'll say, today's song at the Downtown Coffee Shop, and then I can literally list all of those people and link their music to it. So it's pretty awesome. So are we up to one last song? All right, my last song. Okay, well, this is the song I love the most, and actually people like this a lot because I did it with children. I've done it as many places as I possibly can, and I believe it's the song that will change the world. Yep, sorry.
It's
Go.
Okay, this is we ad-lib here.
There you go.
As I said, mistakes happen.
Perfect.
Fall, and it's okay. I'll just
It
pick
is.
myself up and carry on. Mm-hmm. So I want to give out the contact information. Concert Kelly at Comcast.net. That is me. That is my email. Concert Connections. Next one, Concert Kelly, that's me. Terri Lachance, this is Terri Lachance.
Yes,
if you
it
want
is.
to reach
Thank
out
you.
to Terri Lachance. Okay, that's Channel 14.
Norwich.
We're on Channel 14. So, having said that, we're going into the song of the week.
There you
which
go.
What is the song of the
It's
week?
called One Person Can Change the World.
And remember that.
Because we can.
You
can.
and you can change the world
we
one
all
person
can.
at a time.
Just one person, yep. All you need to do is just for one person.
That's right. And until next week, long live rock and roll.
Woo! There you go.
Woo-hoo!
Not sure why some people say One person cannot change the world. It's happened time and time again. Got the past, my friend. One person changed the buses. One person walked on the moon. One person made your house a home. One person dried your tears. One person calmed your fears. One person believed in what you do. Be that person for one person, and the world will change for you. Be that person for one person, and the world will change for you. We all have the world in our hands. It's what we're meant to do. When you see the problems of our times, that's a sign for you to choose. One person changed the buses. One person walked on the moon. One person made your house a home. One person dried your tears. One person calmed your fears. One person believed in what you do. Be that person for one person, and the world will change for you. Be that person for one person, and the world will change for you. Be that person for one person, and the world will change for you. Be that person for one person, and the world will change for you.
I don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's grey and Wednesday too. Thursday, I don't care about you, it's Friday, I'm in love. Monday